Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 344, season 14. Today's date is July 6, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about the syndicated radio series, King Biscuit Flower Hour, that aired during the 70s, 80s, 90s, and I'll talk about my memories of that show. Also, I'll talk about two toys that I had when growing up in Chicago. One was called Frustration Ball, and the other one was Fascination. That was an electronic maze game. They were both from the company Remco. I'll talk about those two toys, of my memories of those, and that should be a lot of fun. Very interesting. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Agree Shampoo. Remember this shampoo? I used to watch the commercials from the late 70s and early 80s. And I'll talk a little bit about that after the commercials played. So, let's see. So here's a commercial from 1980. And the slogan was, "Help Stop the Greasies." Remember that? So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
It seems like I shampoo and shampoo and shampoo, but I just can't keep ahead of the greasies.
That's why I suggest Agree Shampoo. It helps stop the greasies between shampoos. The complete story is in this booklet. See, some shampoos contain greasy-feeling additives, but Agree contains no greasy-feeling additives. Agree Shampoo cleans your hair beautifully without leaving a greasy residue.
It's true. My hair stays cleaner longer and looks terrific longer.
Agree Shampoo. It helps stop the greasies between shampoos.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Agree Shampoo. This product came out in the late 70s, I think about 78, 79, maybe earlier than that. I remember one commercial that featured actress Suzanne Summers during the time she was on Three's Company. And I didn't recognize her at first, but yeah, it was her. I tried to find it on YouTube. I can't find it, and she did a lot of commercials during that time. It's too bad she passed away last year. So the slogan was "Help Stop the Greasies." But this commercial featured a guy in a salon, kind of with a foreign accent. I don't know who he is. And that product was around until throughout the 80s. I don't know if it's still in production. I checked. Nothing. Maybe overseas they have it. I checked Amazon, maybe, but I saw a lot of bottles on eBay for sale. They had shampoo, they had conditioner, they had shampoo and conditioner, they had all kinds of stuff like that, and so it was one of those products that you compete. Happened all the time, and shampoo was one of them. At the time, when they did that. So I think I tried it once. I think, my mom buys stuff and she likes to experiment, and I'm glad she does. She likes to buy new stuff and then we try them. If we don't like it, she won't buy it again. No. Same thing with me. I'll try something, and if I don't like it, I won't buy it again. No, I'll just stick to what I have, like that. But it's fun to experiment. It's how it is. Okay. All right. So at the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the syndicated radio concert series, the King Biscuit Flower Hour. And then talk about two toys that I had when I was growing up from the Remco company, Frustration Ball and Fascination Electric Maze game. Um, Before I get started, I want to thank everyone. I get a lot of comments from all kinds from people that say that they love the page, they love the podcast. I get suggestions. They email me, they text me every day. Some are about 99% is positive, 1% is not. That's how it is. When you're well known, you know, uh, I'm sort of a public figure, not really, kind of. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just, I'm not in the media really. Just people know me. They know me for the Facebook page, Trans Chicagoland, or the podcast. For some time now. Yeah, I'm open to suggestions. So I try to answer the texts and emails. There are some that they send me, but it isn't necessary to respond because they say hello, and I say hello back. And sometimes I can't trust them because they might be bots, spam. People get that every day. Got to be careful. Be very careful, because it's tricky. It's very tricky, especially Facebook, because I get friend requests from people that I already have friends with, and they look suspicious. And I know I have a good memory of who I'm friends with, and if I get a friend request from someone I know but is already my friend, chances are it's not them. So I just delete them, or people that I don't know. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I get followers, which is fine. Everyone has that. That's no biggie. Something? If you're on Threads, that's a new social media created by Mark Zuckerberg. For Facebook, it's like Twitter. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's like Twitter. Well, now it's X. But I get a lot of crazy profiles. Fake ones, especially from scantily clad women. Delete them. I block them, because they're not interested in my page. No, they're not. They're interested in me in a weird way. So I just block them. So forget it. So they're bots. They're scammers. Just block them. Get rid of them. Go away. Just go away. You bother me like that. So that's my advice. Be careful. And change your password. Do the two-factor authorization. I do that. That's the reason why, because my profile is a paid one. Because I get protection. But I still attract these. These awful people. Just go away. They're trolls. That's it. Trolls. They're everywhere. Just be careful. Just be careful. Okay, now let's go and have some fun. Okay. Now, about the King Biscuit Flower Hour. I just saw this a few days ago, and I go, wow, I forgot about this. This program. I used to listen to the promos on the radio when I was growing up, like in the late 70s, the 80s, mostly around that time. And that was an American syndicated radio show, and it's presented by the DIR radio network. I'm not sure about that. What it did is feature concert performances by radius rock music recording artists. Give you an example. Journey, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Aerosmith, The Who. I don't know if Led Zeppelin was on. Maybe. I'm not sure. Blue Oyster Cult. I remember the artists. The Rolling Stones. Yeah, the Rolling Stones. And that started airing in February 18th, 1973. And it aired in Chicago on WXRT FM 93.1 in Chicago on Sunday nights. Sometimes it aired Saturday nights, I think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But so it was carried by more than 300 radio stations throughout the United States. And they got the name from a blues radio show called King Biscuit Time. And it was sponsored by a company called the King Biscuit Flour Company. And then they combined it with a phrase, the hippies called it flower power. You get that? So it's King Biscuit Flour Hour. They dropped the power, they dropped the P, or, respelled it to hour. The first show broadcasted was on February 18th, 1973, featured Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and Bruce Springsteen, when he was very young, and not famous yet. So, and the man who hosted the show, you probably heard his voice, probably on the promos, probably. His name was Bill Minkin. And he was a singer, a comedian, and he performed political satire. And he went under names Senator Bobby and Senator Everett McKinley. I didn't know. I don't know much about him. So he was he was a comedian. He recorded a few record albums like that, and I don't know what he do. I don't know what he's doing now. I have no idea. So. And I think he was the host until like the mid 1990s. So the concerts were usually recorded and it was edited, and then this is my memories of this show. That I used to listen to radio a lot, and sometimes I heard the promos of the radio show. And I used to hear it on WXRT, and I think it switched radio stations for a time at WLS 95 FM. And I think it aired Saturday nights. I think it was like in the early 80s. And then I think it returned to WXRT FM 93.1. And then the show, they produced it in stereo, LP, record albums and cassettes. And I don't know about 8-track. I don't think so. Of course, CDs and albums. The first one was a live retrospective of the Rolling Stones that was broadcast in September 27, 1987. And then, so they just mostly was classic rock, just like the artists I just mentioned, like that. You can listen to those on YouTube. They have a lot of recordings there if you'd like. I don't think there's any commercials on that. I listened to about one or two, and so that's good. And then in 1982, they had a fire, a 3-alarm fire in the Manhattan office that housed all the broadcast, all the recordings. And many of the recordings were lost in the fire, which is a shame. I don't know if they had backup. Maybe they did. And and then later on, in a few years ago, in 2006, they acquired by Wolfgang's Vault. And it was like a company, and they began streaming the concerts online and for download, and so that was great, And then they released, they continued to release the concert series on, of course, on the albums and CDs. And like I said before, you can listen to them on YouTube if you like. If you like to do that, that's great. That's wonderful. But I just remembered it's a strange name for this series, King Biscuit. they should have a picture of a Biscuit, with a crown, and he's wearing a robe. He looks like old King Cole. The only thing missing is a scepter. Well, he's holding a microphone, so that's kind of fun. And I remember in high school at Bogan High School, I used to listen to kids, and they say, "Yeah, I'm listening to the King Biscuit Hour over the weekend." Okay, I didn't know about it. I never heard of it. I don't think it started airing in 1973 in Chicago. I think it aired much later, probably about maybe 2 or 3 years later, like 76, 77, something like that. I could be wrong. Anyway, so, I should have asked my brother, because he loves music and he's a bigger music fan than me. I should ask him, do you remember this show? And he probably will. I'm going to talk to him later on today. He probably would, and I don't know if he recorded anything. You used to do in the old days when you recorded a radio show, with a cassette, with a boombox like that. It's possible. I think a lot of people did that, during that time. Okay. So I thought that was a cool memory of that. And, so that's great. It's great to listen to old classic rock and roll, acts like that. So, like I said before, it's on YouTube if you cared to listen. I just listened to the Journey one the other day, and that was great. It was live. I forgot where, in 1976, and they were great. They still are. I love their music. A lot of kids during the time when I went to high school loved the group. They're awesome. Okay. So that's it for King Biscuit Flower Hour. Right now I'm going to talk about 2 toys that were that I had when I was a kid, and they're from the Remco company. One was called Frustration Ball and Fascination Electric Maze game. I had a picture of Fascination, the Electric Maze game. I posted this a long time ago on Van Chicagoland, and it had a sticker from Dispense's Castle of Toys. You remember that? Dispense's Castle of Toys, Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois. You get the jingle. So I found that, and I posted that, and that was great. I like that. When I was a kid, when I look at those 2 games, I thought they were colorful. I found them so intriguing. I begged my mom to buy them for me, and she did, reluctantly. When you're a little kid and you see something that's that you want, you say, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I did. So that's fine. So I'll start with the Frustration Ball. Then I'll get into Fascination in a couple of minutes. So this is a description of the game that was from 1969. That was released then. I was about 6 years old, and the toys ads touted as a 3-dimensional madness, and it'll drive and had the ability to drive you up the wall. So it appears that it was like a simple dexterity puzzle, and it was a self-contained transparent plastic sphere, and it contained 8 affixed inward-facing cups in various colors and a marble. And I think the marbles were labeled with a number. So this is the object of the game. Players take turns to tilting the sphere and attempt to move the marbles sequentially, from 1 to 8. There were 8 cups without missing a step. That sounds kind of hard. And you could do this. You take your time, and the first player who completes the task, gets all. Gets all. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the Grandpa's Gang for Bogus Circus. Also, it's in a ball. So So if you complete this and you get all the marbles in in each cup, if you get into the 8th cup, you win. Some of the cups are opposite of each other. They make it easy. Others are a little tough, and you try to angle it and you flip it over like that. It looked like kind of fun. I was going to buy this game. Yeah. And this game lasted for quite a while, maybe a few years. So so that's why you got frustrated, because you want to. Okay, you got number 1, you got number 2, you got number 3. Yeah, easy, but then you got it harder and harder. It's just like the Grand Prize game, from Bozo. That's what it was, like that. I couldn't find a commercial of this thing, but this looked like. I think there was like 8, maybe not 8 cups, maybe 9, 8 or 9, something like that. I could be wrong, or could be no. I think it was 8. I'm sorry. All right. So, so that I was just fascinated with the ball and its colors, and the numbers. That's what it was. Okay. Now, next game was, of course, Fascination. That was the electric maze game. Now, that came out a little earlier, in 1961. Same company. At Remco. It came out with some great games. So the game is basically a race between 2 players navigating the same maze. Now, there were 2 mazes. There were one on each side. And one was circular and the other one was, kind of square like that. And they had finished holes at the top of each metal contact. And they had like some kind of contraption connect, like a wire to a column, and it has lights like that. So when this is what it says on the description: when the steel marbles used to navigate the maze and all come in contact with their respective finished holes, the column lights up in the player's colors. You win. That's what it was. That's what's called Fascination. But you do this when you're standing up. You do this when you're sitting down. I don't think it sounds much frustrating as, of course, the frustrating ball. No, that's not like that at all. So, in my opinion, I like the frustration ball better, even though it's a pain in the neck. That one seems more fun than the Fascination maze game. Okay. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial from the early 1960s. Okay, and this is from it's the Fascination maze game. When I come back, I'll talk a little bit more, about the memories of the games, and then I'll wrap up the show. Okay? So sit back and relax and listen to the commercial. Thank you, everyone.
Fascination, the race to light the tower. Roll the balls and roll them fast. Hurry, hurry, don't be last. Fascination, Remco's Fascination. What a fast and fascinating game.
Each player gets 2 completely different mazes. The first one to get through the maze with all 3 balls lights up the tower. It's fast. It's Fascination by Remco.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Fascination, the electric maze game from Remco. Those toys were bought, from my mom. I believed. Actually, I first saw them at Children's Bargain Town. That was located in the South Chicago neighborhood. It was like 92nd Street, east of Commercial. I forgot the name of the street. I saw those, and I probably saw them on television. I saw the commercials then when it was very little. I have a vivid memory of that. But we lived in the Roseland neighborhood at the time, so she probably bought them there were 2 toy stores, well, maybe a couple. There was a toy store across the street, but I don't think it carried that. So most likely she bought them at Gately's People's Store that was located on 112th Street and Michigan Avenue, down in the basement They had a toy department. So she probably had that. And probably, or maybe Kresge's, that was on the same street in Michigan. Maybe. I don't know. And, I've had memories of Gately's. A lot of people have. I'll talk about it someday. I have before in the past. Yeah. In the basement of Gately's People Store, they had the popcorn machine and the grocery store. And, of course, they had the famous donut machine. Yeah. I love that thing. That was awesome to watch. And the donuts were fresh. Anyway, so it's fascinating, toys today. I don't know if kids can handle these toys today. Maybe. It's not electronic. It's not on your phone, but at least it's on your hand and keep you busy for a while. So that's the main purpose of those toys. If I had those, I'd play with them. I really would. It's especially the frustration ball. Oh yeah, like that. It's like like I said, it's like the Bozo Grand Prize game in a ball. Oh well. What can I say? All right. So I just love discussing the toys that I had when I was a kid. I know it's Chicago related in a way because I lived in Chicago. I still do. Then I had a lot of toys growing up, and it's beautiful. Those are beautiful memories. Even when you go to a toy store and you browse and you see all these wonderful board games and toys. And it gives you a nice, nostalgic, warm feeling. It's beautiful. It really is. Okay. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talk about. I talk about the King Biscuit Flower Hour. That's a radio concert, syndicated, the syndicated radio concert series, that aired on WXRT 93.1 FM. It probably did air WLS 95. I think it did. But mostly it was WXRT. And I want to mention that lasted about, sometimes it came in 2000, but I think it was probably early in that. But I think it was sporadically like that. So, and then I talked about the two games that I had when I was growing up from Remco, the Frustration Ball and the Fascination Electric Maze game. Okay. This podcast will be published, later on today, wherever podcasts are found, on any apps, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast. You can find it on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. You just go to my blog and click. It'll take you right there. On the apps, just tap follow. And you can listen to previous episodes as you like. They're all there. Also, it'll be published on my YouTube channel, Van Chicagoland Stories the Podcast. So again, people ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? You can find it on YouTube. It's much easier. You can tap on subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. You can listen anytime, any day. So on any devices, desktop, tablet, your phone, even if you have streaming, if Spotify, you can listen to on your TV, or you can listen to your car. Yeah. Amazing. Technology is amazing. Also, be sure to my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Threads, Blue Sky, what else? Instagram and TikTok. You have the link. Okay. I will probably do another podcast episode tomorrow. I think I will. But I already thought of an idea, and it's something a lot of people would like. Something. It is Chicago related, and it's something a lot of people miss. So I'll guarantee you would like the subject. Okay, and I'll have another subject, of course. Okay. So like I said before, this will be published later on today. All right. So this is Pete Costanis, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is kind of a it's nice. Sun's out, cloudy, but it's not hot. No, It's beautiful. It really is. I got to go for a walk. I need a walk. Trying, but yeah, but so health wise, I'm doing okay. So far, so good. Yeah. So, also one last thing. There'll be an upcoming project. I will do the 60th anniversary of Ray Rayner and Friends, the TV show that's coming up that starred Ray Rayner. It should be coming around maybe the end of the month or early August. We'll see. Probably, maybe for the 350th episode. We will see what happens, and work on that. So it'll be a podcast. I'll do a video. Write a story about my memories of watching the show. Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. So here's Ray Rayner saying, so here's me saying bye-bye, and here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.